Hello guys, welcome to StudyIQ. I am Safir. In this session, we are going to continue our discussion during the Gupta period. So we were talking about Gupta period and we have briefly mentioned about these rulers, and then we have also discussed why this period is known as golden era of art and architecture. So we are discussing from the perspective of art and architecture, and we have discussed about these developments in astronomy, math, medicine, literature, and all those things, right? So apart from that, we have discussed about the concept of Trinity of Gods, and then we discussed the caves. This is what the most important one. We discussed already about Ajanta Caves, and I've told you there are 29 caves which are connected with Buddhism, right? And then out of this, 4 Chaityas and then 25 Viharas were there. Apart from that, we have also discussed that some paintings are there in that mural paintings are there, and then the sculptures are also there. So it can be 1-story or 2-story caves. Okay. So mural paintings, there are 2 types, fresco and duco. This is dry mural. This is having some water content, and I've discussed the technique which is used for the fresco painting. That is what we have covered here. Like a clay, cow dung, rice, they mix this and make a plaster. And once it is dried, you will apply the lime plaster, and then upon that you will be making the painting, right? Except the blue color, you will be using everything actually. And these are the examples of the paintings that we have discussed. So Vajrapani Buddha, Padampani Buddha, and then flying Apsara, and then dying princess. So this is what we have discussed, and I just missed out when I talk from the perspective of the Ajanta Caves. I missed the sculptures inside. So let me quickly discuss about the sculptures inside the Ajanta Caves. So just write the example, guys. Mahaparinirvana Buddha. So the sculptures inside Ajanta. Okay. So Mahaparinirvana Buddha. Buddha would be lying in the right hand, side, like a death position. And then Buddha conquering Maravijay army. We discussed about this before also. Buddha conquering Maravijay army. So this is the sculptures which is inside the Ajanta Caves. Now what we can do is we can discuss the other caves. We'll start with Ellora now, and then we will discuss about Elephanta Caves and the other caves as well. So let's go with the Ellora. So Ellora, where is it? In Maharashtra, Aurangabad. Even Ajanta also, I think I forgot to mention the place, the same place, Maharashtra, Aurangabad. Okay. So here you will see caves related to 3 religions. Ajanta, I've told you that is related to Buddhism, and there are 29 caves, and we have divided that into 25 and 24 Chaityas and Viharas. Now here, this is related to 3 religions. What are the 3 religions? You will see Hinduism, you will see Buddhism, and you will see Jainism. And I think this one dominating was actually Hinduism, because there were 17 connected to Hinduism, and then 12 connected to Buddhism, and then 5 connected to the Jain religion. Okay. Now Ajanta, you have seen 1-story and 2-story. Now here you will see up to 3-story. So 3-story also. And guys, one more interesting fact that I want to discuss is there are courtyards. There were courtyards in this, Ellora Caves. Courtyard means like, how to tell. It is an open place, like from the top the sunlight will fall, right? Even now when we make a house, we try to make courtyard like in the middle, right? And maybe you will keep glass on top, or you may keep it open also, and the sunlight will fall directly. So this is what you mean by courtyard. Now, why it is not there in Ajanta and why it is there in Ellora? It is because the area it is see that these caves are constructed in the hill, and now if you see this, I'll just show you why it is so. See the hills, let's say like this, right? So you have a sloping side on the hill, and you have a perpendicular side on the hill. That means a steep side. So this is a steep side of the hill, or the perpendicular side of the hill, and this is the sloping side of the hill, right? So the Elloras will come in the sloping side, and Ajantas in the perpendicular side. So if it is in the perpendicular side, now then what will happen if you need to carve the cave? So it's like this, right? You will cut it here, the stones will be cut, and you made it. So there is no possibility of light which is coming here, because top there will be stones. And again further, if you cut here, another, if you try to make, still no possibility of sunlight which is directly coming, right? Because on top of it there is rock or stone. So it is not possible. That is the kind of structure, right? So it is located in the steep side of the hill. So the possibility of sunlight which is coming is less. That's the reason why there were no courtyards in Ajanta. When it comes to Ellora, it will be like this. You will be cutting like this and making the caves like this. So something like this, okay? So you can see directly there is open, and this is how the caves are attached, something like this. So you can see directly the sunlights will come. So the courtyards were there in Ellora. It is mainly, now in case if you get a question, why it is there possible in Ellora and not in Ajanta, it is because of the structure or because of the place or where it is constructed. This is constructed in the perpendicular side or the steep side of the hill, and this is on the sloping side of the hill. So if it is on the sloping side of the hill, when you cut the rock, there is a possibility that the lights will fall, that sunlight will fall directly, okay? So that is the reason why courtyards were therein. So this reason you should be knowing, guys. That's why I've drawn it and I've explained it, okay? So there were no courtyards in Ajanta as it was made on the perpendicular side of the hill. But in Ellora, you will see the courtyards as it is in the sloping side of the hill. So that is the reason why courtyards are here and why no courtyards here. I hope this is very clear for all of you. So here again, in Ellora also, you will find the fresco painting. We discussed this fresco painting in Ajanta as well. So here also you will find the fresco painting, and you know the technique in which you will be doing it, right? So the clay, cow dung and all those things will be mixed, and you will make a plaster, and then you will dry it, and then you apply lime plaster, and upon that you will be painting. Okay, so that's what the same thing. And you know the water content is there because the mixer that we've used, it is having a capacity to retain water. So that is the reason why it will always have that water content, and in case if it is gone, you just put some water, it will remain fresh. So this will always look fresh. That's why fresco painting. All right, so fresco paintings are there, and sculptures are also there. Okay, now what we need to discuss now is we need to discuss the important caves in Ellora. So I'll just delete this and I'll explain here. Important caves in Ellora. Okay, see the cave number 10. First is the cave number 10, but the most important one is the cave number 16. Let me start with cave number 10. Cave number 10. It is dedicated to Lord Vishwakarma. So the cave name is also the god name actually. The cave name is Vishwakarma Cave. So dedicated to Lord Vishwakarma. Guys, Vishwakarma, he was a patron saint of craftsman, means god of those tools, techniques, equipments, etc. So Vishwakarma, okay. And then cave number 14, named after Ravan. So Ravana ki Khai. I don't know how you pronounce it. Then cave number 15, it's a Dashavadar cave, okay. So Dashavadar cave. Just remember the names, guys, and the number. In case if they ask some kind of match the following or whatever it is, just remember this. 16 is the most important one out of all this. I'll just put a hash mark here. It is dedicated to Kailashnath temple. Kailashnath temple. So it is actually considered as the architecture wonder of India. And one more interesting fact is it is actually a monolith. Monolith means what? It is made from a single rock, single stone. You can imagine how difficult it will be. And it is so strong also. Okay, and even during the Aurangzeb time when he was very conservative, he demolished many temples, and he made an attempt to demolish this, but it was unsuccessful. Okay, so that's the kind of strength that this temple have. And then I told you, right, there are around 5 caves which are related to Jainism, and all the 5 caves related to Jainism is actually called as Indra Sabha. Just remember the name, Indra Sabha. Okay, so that's about Ellora. I hope you understood. So this name you remember, Indra Sabha, which is connected to the 5 caves which are related to Jainism. Now guys, let's look into the Elephanta Caves. Okay, so next is Elephanta Caves. Caves are very important from prelims exam point of view. That's the reason why we are spending some time on discussing caves. So though it's slightly difficult and it's not that interesting, but these are facts which we need to cover. Okay, so Elephanta Caves, it's off coast of Mumbai. Okay, so here which religion is dominating? Hinduism is actually dominating. The first one I told you it is related to Buddhism only. Ellora I told you it is having 3 religions. Okay, and then even in that also Hinduism was dominating because maximum was related to Hinduism. Here Hinduism is dominating. So it is Hinduism. And here if you see the sculptures of Trimurti, this Elephanta Caves is famous for what? Sculpture of Trimurti. Now who is this Trimurti? It is not the one which you think, Uma, then Bhairav and Shiva. So just remember this. This is famous for this three. Okay. So the next one is Nashik Caves. So you know it is near Pune, and there are around 23 caves, and all are connected to Buddhism. So it is situated in the Triambak Hill Range of Maharashtra. Triambak Hill Range. Otherwise, why it is famous? It is a place from where one famous river is originating, right? It is Godavari. Godavari is actually emerging from this Triambak Hill Range. So the river Godavari. Okay, so that's about Elephanta Caves. Now we need to also discuss about this Jinagat Caves. Okay, so let me discuss about Jinagat Caves in Gujarat. So it is situated in Girnar Hill Range. Girnar Hill Range. I'm talking about the hill range. Gir forest. This is Girnar Hill Range. Okay. Now here, when it comes to this one, there is a unique structure. What I'll do is I'll just show you the structure. It's something like this. Okay. So this is that hill area, and then some kind of staircases you will find. So they make staircases. That means they will make it like uprise. Okay. And then somewhere here, like you will be seeing the cave. So cave is coming here in the middle of that area, and then these are the stairs. So it is actually made at a height and it is connected with the stair. Okay, so this is unique structure, and another name of this is upper court. So the stairs are leading to the cave, and which is located in the middle of the hill range. So these caves are also called as upper court. Now why? Because it is made on like around 30 to 50 feet high platform. So there is a 30 to 50 feet high, and you know this is connected with the stairs. So which religion is here dominant? Guys, the specimen related to both Hinduism and Buddhism were found here. So the assumption is both were present. This is associated with both Hinduism as well as Buddhism. Okay, so that's about caves. We're done with caves. So guys, we discussed about Ajanta, and then we discussed about Ellora, and then Elephanta, then Nashik Caves, Jinagat Caves. Very important. We have tried to simplify it as much as possible, and I hope you understood whatever we have discussed in the caves. Okay, so the structure and everything is very clear. Now, why in Ellora courtyards were there and why in Ajanta courtyards were not there, I hope you understood the reason. So these are the things that you need to know, and examples that we have discussed for each of those also should be known. And when it comes to Ellora, what are those 4 important caves that we have discussed, you should also be knowing about that. That's it from the cave side. Now we can move to the next most important topic, that is temple architecture. So here I'll be talking about temple architecture in North India, and then South I will be separately discussing the South Indian temple architecture. So when I start with North Indian, I'll discuss about the stages of development, then we will move to Nagara style, and then we will discuss the variations in Nagara style. Okay, like Chandela, then you will find different style in Odisha that we will discuss, and then Gujarat. right? So this we will discuss. That is Nagara only, but some variation is there, and they can ask you what is the variation in like in Odisha, what is that different from the normal Nagara setup, okay? And after that we'll be talking about Dravida. That is when I discuss about the South Indian temple architecture, and then with that we'll complete this, and then we can move to medieval. Okay, so let's start with temple architecture in North India. North India, okay, South I'll be discussing separately. So the topic is temple architecture in North India. So first we will discuss the stages of development. So the first stage, okay, so you will see in the first stage there will be flat roof square temples are made. So flat roof square temples, and they are followed by shallow pillars, shallow pillared approach. Now guys, what do you mean by shallow pillar? It's something which is very less, something which is very small. So that means these pillars are actually not made for giving the strength to the temple. Rather, the purpose of these pillars were more of decoration purpose. It is not for giving the strength. That's why shallow pillared approach. You'll see something like this. What do you mean by flat square temple? Something like this, right? So you can see flat roof square temple. It looks like square, and then some pillars like this will be there. So this is how it look like. Now these pillars are not for giving strength to the temple, rather it is for the decoration purpose. So it's not for strength, and it was also made on low platform. Okay, so guys, who made the first temple as such? Is it in India? No, it is not in India. It is in Iran. The place name is actually Zandiar. Okay, now who made this? Not who, which religion? It is the Parsis or the Zoroastrians. Okay, so the Zoroastrians made actually the first temple, not in India, not Hindus. It is Zoroastrian in Iran. The actual place is Zandiar. Just remember this. Okay, so I hope you understood what I mean by flat roof square temple. I hope you understood what I mean by this square pillar approach, shallow pillar approach. It's for decoration purpose, not for giving the strength. And what we need is we need some examples for this, right? So let me discuss the examples for this. Temple number 17, Sanchi. Okay. Temple number 17, Sanchi, and then Kangali Devi temple. Kangali Devi temple, and then Tigawa, all in Madhya Pradesh. Okay, so temple number 17, Sanchi, and Kankali Devi temple, and Tigawa. Okay, now what is going to happen in the second stage? So first stage is done. Second stage, they actually continued this flat roof square temple approach. So this is there, but now this time shallow pillar approach is not there. Instead, you will see in-depth pillars are used to give strength. So first case, it is shallow pillared approach with flat roof square type. Now flat roof square type continued, but not the shallow pillar approach. Instead, there is a strong pillar, which is the purpose is to give strength to the temple, and its in-depth pillars are actually made. Okay, so I hope you understood. Here, this you can change. This is there, and this pillar to give strength to the structure of the temple. So now the temples are also made in upraised platform. So this the previous one low platform. So I'll write it here. Now it is in the upraised platform. Okay, now one more. This concept of ambulatory passageway was developed around sanctum and sanctorum. That's the place where the god or the deity is kept in the temple, sanctum and sanctorum. And ambulatory passage means like you can that projection, right? So that is actually the word which is used. That you can rotate, you can come and you can just walk around. So you will see that in all the temple, right? So that is what this ambulatory passage developed around sanctum and sanctorum. Like you can take a circle near the deity. So deity is kept, and then there will be a passage where you can just take a circle. So for example, Parvati temple at Najna Kutara, MP, Madhya Pradesh. Okay, so that's about the second stage, guys. So we started off with temple architecture, discussed the first stage and the second stage. Now we have to discuss the third stage, which will lead to Nagara design. Okay, so the third stage I'll discuss in the next session, and then we will continue with the Nagara style of temple making, because that Nagara style is actually evolving from the third one. So I hope you enjoy the session. I hope you understood whatever we have discussed. See you in the next session, guys. Thank you so much for watching.